Final piece, let's get it done. Guys, how's it going? So today we are going to be fitting these faux panels. Really quick and easy to do these. I'm hoping they are made out of expanding foam. So they are just expanding foam like that, expanded into a mold to give you the shape. Okay, so they are really lightweight, easy to cut. You can cut them with a handsaw, a jigsaw, or a plunge saw. Nice and easy for you. You can also glue them to the wall or screw them to the wall. So it's a nice easy project for you. Don't need any fancy tools to get these panels fitted. So this is what it looks like. Okay, so we've got 5 panels. We just cut that one just now, and we've got a spare one over there. So we're going to be cutting that spare one in half. One offcut is going to go there, and the other offcut is going to go there to give us the length. We've got an overall length opening of 2650 millimeters by 1550 millimeters high. We do have a little bit of a gap here, and we're not worrying too much about the gap. It's about 20 mil because these panels are about between 25 and 40 in thickness. If you have got gaps, then yeah, I think you can get away with about 25-ish minimum. And what I would suggest is you just lay them out like so. We had one here. We decided that we were going to cut that square and leave the bottom edge straight. When we do cut, we're going to use a plunge saw. We cut that first one square, just cutting those tabs off. As you can see, we've just done that here. You can see we did get a couple of chips. You know, we went really slow with the saw and took our time, but it still does it. So what this kit does come with is spray paint. Run through what you will probably get with the kit or can buy as extras is buy the spray paint for any touch-ups and the mastic sealer. I believe this is black because what this is going to do is squeeze in between the joints. As you can see, there's the joint there. If I pull it out, you will see it a little bit better. What you do is you just get this black silicone and you just pump it into the gaps. Most of this panel is going to get covered because we've got a 77-inch TV going on there. So we're only going to see like a foot all the way around, possibly, something like that. We are going to use a general purpose silicone. It doesn't matter what color, whether it's clear, white, whatever you got, to glue this on the wall. So we're just going to do blobs, big blobs, and build them out so they squidge out as we push this panel on. They're not going to take any weight at all, these panels, so we don't need to be too fussy. First panel cut, all we did was cut those little teeth bits off of this side, make sure it's square. This one basically is just a full tile. We don't need to do anything to that. We need the teeth both sides. So effectively we can go ahead and glue this on. So just going over tools, yeah, we got a jigsaw. I did the hand saw there, and then I just did the bottom part of the jigsaw. But I cut this out completely with the jigsaw and it was really easy. And we wanted to just be sure that when you put a plug in with a hard wire, it comes down here. So we've just allowed enough. When we put this panel in, we'll just cut a little bit more. This hole goes all the way down inside. There's a tube, goes through to the inside of this cupboard. As you can see, there's another hole there so we can pass cables through. So handsaw possibly, jigsaw, track saw. We've got the Makita track saw, and that is the track saw there. We've got a silicone gun, silicone, square, tape measure, pencil. They're the main ones. Anyway, I'm going to take that first panel off now. I've cut that edge square. I'm going to just put loads of blobs of silicone on, squidge that on. It won't go anywhere. There we go. I've just decided to put blobs on like this. Just make sure they're tall, just so they squidge out. That's my preferred method rather than doing lines. So there's enough on there, and I've put them on the teeth as well, just to be safe. Again, this is probably overkill, but it's not going to go anywhere. It's foam and there's no weight on it at all. So that's more than enough, isn't it, Sean? Before I commit and squidge it to the wall, I'm going to push it into the corner. Like so. There we go, guys. That is one panel done. I think it's just as simple as that. To let you know that some of these panels do ride up where they have machined them. Can you see? It's got a little bit of a divot, or well, that just rides up there. So just take into account to look at the back of your panels first. Really want 2 people on this, even though it's not heavy. I just don't want to hold it, risk it snapping. Although they are relatively rigid. I don't think they will, but they're not mine, and I don't want to snap them. One thing to note is they might vary. So if you've spun them, you thought, oh, I'm going to have this one this way or that way, just make sure that you try them out dry like that, because we had them the other way. We had that one orientate and we had a little step where they didn't line up. So just be aware of that. I think you just need to have every panel in the same orientation for them to work. Little tip there for you. Some of the teeth are touching some points, so I'm not going to force it in. They have left tolerances here. You might be able to see some white through the gaps. You can see there's gaps here, but it just the way it is, just the way the tiles are designed. So yeah, let's go and get the other one cut. I think I'm going to cut that one, so we'll do a cut together. Yeah, so Sean is measuring now, so we've got this point. We are assuming now this panel is completely square, we know that. These have been cut nice and true and square, so we know that panel is not leaning over, it's completely true and square. But what Sean is just doing, he's just taking a measurement from the side panel to the end here, top and bottom. Okay, he's going to take his measurements. We are going to allow 4 mil. Hopefully it's enough, because there is gaps in between the teeth. So we're going to measure from that tooth to there, take our measurement, take off 4. So we've got the panel here. It's the same orientation as this, okay, so it's not round the other way. So all we need to do is take a slice of that and use that side. We'll transfer that on the back because we're cutting from the back. We are going to be putting the track saw on the back. So Sean's putting his measurements down, but look, have a look at this there, okay? So where he needs to take the tape measure mark from, we've got a little imperfection there. It's just the imperfection in manufacturing procedure. So yeah, 500 he said, 500. Where we are cutting, we are just making sure that we extend the blade all the way through. We've set it quite deep, 40 or 50 mil, so we know it's going to go through in one pass, because it varies, anything up to 40 or 50 mil. So where we are cutting, we've got 2 benches. We don't want to just risk having it on one end for it to drop off. So we've got it on 2 benches, but where we are doing the cut, we've just split the 2 benches in half, and this is where our saw cut's going to be. We've got removal blankets underneath, not to damage the panels. We're just going to make sure that our blade is nowhere near that. That's cut relatively easy. Let's go ahead and put our panel up. Before we do, we need to give it some glue. There's no real order of where I'm putting this, just decent amount of blobs. So I'm hoping this goes in first time. It's not been tested. Do you know what? I should have done this dry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this off. So to do this, I'm going to get another tile. I'm just going to do that side cut first. Once I've done the side cut, I'm then going to take my measurements from here to the panel at the top, do my top cut, and then just work my way across. I'll get to you once I'm finished, but overall that is the procedures that you need to follow, and you will get perfect results. I'll show you what it looks like at the end, so don't go anywhere. Piece of the puzzle, Sean, you're going to measure? The last one, just measure wall to there, and 2 measurements, top and bottom. Transfer those onto that last offcut that we have, and we'll be able to use that. We can start fitting the big monster TV. So just a quick and easy way of applying this. Obviously, you can get your panels in, then do the touch-ups, but what if you've got a couple of chips in the corner? You don't want to spray it like that, obviously. So just spray your aerosol into a little lid, use an artist brush, and then apply the paints like that. Apply it and get rid of those chips whilst it's off, or you can simply just go in and just very delicately just get in there. This way is a little bit more risk-free. Right, anyway, let's get that glue turned on. This is the final piece to the puzzle. Try and get dry. Don't push it too hard because we need to get it out. That will go, we're going to glue it up. Final piece, let's get it done. Already done the edges, touched up the edges before the aerosol. Done. Right guys, so all done as you can see. I've touched up everywhere apart from a couple of bits at the top. All I need to do is do some masticing. It comes out as a thin little bead as you can see. And I'm just going to go into any obvious joints, okay? I'm just going to fill up any obvious joints. So we've got a white wall behind us. I just want to make sure that you can't see any white behind there. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and just keep masticing bits and pieces that I think need it. So there we go, guys. As you can see, it's all done apart from finishing off the masticing and any touch-ups. Yeah, it's the PanelPiedra, that's what it's called. Thought I'd do a video because yeah, you guys might want to know how to fit it, and I hope you've enjoyed. Let me know what you think. Yeah, take it easy. See you next Friday. Take it easy. Ciao for now.